Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Creative Beast Studios Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/35th scale Allosaurus jimmadseni. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we're going to start off with warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there, because it's an adult collectible ages 15 and up. Beasts of the Mesozoic Dinosaur Action Figure Creative Beast Studio Posable Figure. And we have a little sliver of a window right there that follows around to the front, where we've got some nice artwork of the Allosaurus in a woodland setting. And then we have a nice bit of window showcasing a partial view of the figure and accessories. It says Beasts of the Mesozoic right there on the window. 15 and up, Allosaurus jimmadseni. We'll call him Jimmy. 1/35th scale dinosaur action figure on the bottom. There are the credits. Join the dinosaur toy revolution, creative-beast.com for more products and info. Symbols I'm not going to learn except for that one. That means don't give it to babies. And then copyright stuff. Creative Beast Studio, from the prehistoric to the fantastic. Do not force stiff joints, apply low heat for full range movement. And there's the item number, barcode, and made in China print. On this side, we've got the background from the front carries over on this side. Allosaurus jimmadseni. And I know I butchered these names. I don't know them. I'm trying my best. 1/35th scale. He's a beast of the Mesozoic. On this side, beasts of the Mesozoic. Allosaurus Jimmy, and 1/35th scale. And on this side, Allosaurus Jimmy. Collectible card inside, Beasts of the Mesozoic. And then Allosaurus jimmadseni is geologically the oldest known species of the Allosaur genus. And I don't know why I'm reading that to you. You can pause it right here and read it for yourself. And then if you want to read some stats on the dinosaur, you can pause it right here and you can read that. And then at the bottom, 1/35th scale dinosaur action figure sum-assembly is required. Also available is the cross sale of the fragilis, the Elioti, the Cripflow, I don't know the name, so we're going to call him Elliot. And then Pachycephalosaurus and the 1/18th Stegosaurus. That might be a cool one to have too. And then there's a nice practical shot of the figure. So very, very nice looking. And there you have it, my friends. That is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we have the handy dandy instructions. And it's Beasts of the Mesozoic, Allosaurus jimmadseni, which is this figure, and fragilis, which is a figure I've already reviewed. 1/35th scale. Do not force stiff joints, apply low heat for full movement and for attaching the tail. And then it shows you how to swap the feet, shows you widest jaw range, shows you the stand and how it works and how you can kind of pose the guy on the stand. So, very nice and handy dandy. Next up, we have the collector card, which has some lovely artwork on there where he's frolicking with a flock of some kind of pterodactyl type critter that's kind of small, because it looks like he's not just hanging out with them, it's what's for lunch. And Beast of the Mesozoic. So very nice artwork. I really like that. Beast of the Mesozoic. There's a nice practical shot of the figure. Allosaurus jimmadseni, different lizard. And then there's some stats and info on him. If you want to read all that, please pause it here and read it. And moving right along, there we have the art credits, creative-beast.com, and copyright stuff. Next up, we're moving on to the stand. And here's like a foam rubber type piece, and it's a grippy foot for the stand. If you want to put it on there, you just peel this piece off. It's sticky under here. You just stick it on there. And here is the main part of the stand, or the base of the stand. You can see it's got this triangle kind of piece on it, and it's got these lines on it there for gripping the post. Now how this piece works is you just peel the sticker off, or peel the paper off of the sticky and just stick it on here like so. So next up we have the post, and you can see it's kind of curved. It's got a port here, and it's got a kind of a squished mushroom piece here made out of clear plastic. And the way this works is you turn it sideways and you put it in here, and then get it about where you want it and twist it, and it'll mostly stay where you want it. It can go like this, it can go like that for low poses. So there's that piece. Next up we have the support, the bracket, the cradles. So here's a U-shaped one, or semi U-shaped, wide U, and on the bottom of it it's got a ball joint, and the same with this one. This one's more of a cradle piece, and again ball joint on it. And how that works is it pops into this port right on the top there. So alright, next up he's got two sets of alternate feet. On the figure it's got like the spread out toes. These are the drumming finger toes, I guess, or the walking ones, I guess you could say. But does have nice deco on it. Even on the bottom there, looks like a nice wash. Nice shiny claws, and just overall nice paint work. And if you can see it, you probably can't. So let's get the little flashlight out and maybe that'll help. Maybe you can see it now. It's got a little L in there for left, and they're marked left and right, so you get, don't mix them up putting them on the critter and have him club-footed or whatever. So this is the matching to that, the one we just looked at. It's pretty much the same except just the right side. And then moving right along to the next set of feet. Everything I said about that one holds true to this one. You can see the L on there pretty prominently, except for this one is straight with toes kind of close together. Same level of sculpt and detail. And this one has an R on it pretty prominently. So very, very nice looking. And let's take a look at the figure itself now. So as far as the deco goes and the sculpt, we'll talk about those kind of at the same time. You've got this neck hood piece that it'll slide forward and back. You slide it back and it's kind of gappy looking, but there is, you know, it is what it is. So he's got this nice bone crisp, but it's not a bright color like the fragilis, but he's got those same kind of eyes that look right into your soul. So, but nice deco. And the sculpt wise, you can see like he's got folds in the skin and wrinkles in the skin, and nice textural details, which might be scales. And it's got a nice wash in there too, and you see how it kind of is dark here and it fades a little bit into this lighter belly color. He's got nice shiny talons on his arms, and then almost a striped and camouflage type pattern on his back, and it kind of goes down to his sides here. You can see he's got a little bit of different colors here. So very, very cool looking. And we'll kind of take a look at, well, we'll start taking a look at the articulation, but we still have a little bit of paint to cover on the inside of the mouth here. And you can see this one has been finished with a glossy paint or glossy clear coat, one of the two, and it looks like it's moist or wet, whatever you want to call it, there inside his mouth. Even on the tongue, it's got some paint work for the teeth as well, and maybe some wash in there, maybe not. And the tongue is articulated. My fat fingers don't do it very well, but it's on a ball and it plugs in at the mouth, so you can get some up and down, and you can get a little twisty with it if you want to. So, and the mouth does open that wide, so it doesn't seem like this piece is giving us as much a problem as the fragilis, but because his name is fragilis, I guess that's why he's fragile and handled with care, because he's Italian. But not this guy. He's a jimmadseni, and we're just going to call him Jimmy Dean after this review. That's what I'm going to call him. He's the Allosaurus jimmadseni sausages, because I don't like his name. It's very hard for me to pronounce. So at the head, the articulation, it'll go up, it'll go down a little bit, so you get that much range. You get some left and right in there as well. Then I think there's another cut right here, and it swings out, and it'll go up and down some too. And then at the base of the neck, it goes down that far, it goes up that far, and then it turns some too. So get a decent range there without the head popping off like the fragilis, because he's fragile. At the arms, Jimmy Dean can spread his arms that wide. It's on a ball joint or half dumbbell or full dumbbell even, maybe. Rotates 360 degrees there. And then at the elbow, it's single hinge and swivels around 360 degrees. It'll go back that far, and it'll bend forward that far. The hand is on a dumbbell, so it gets all kinds of hula. It gets rotation. It'll go in and out, and it will go up and down, however you need it to go. So there's a cut here in the torso, and it gives you some left and right bend, and it gives you a little bit of down movement, and it gives you a little bit of up movement. Not a whole lot of range there. So at the legs, it gives you that much of the splits, which isn't a whole lot, but you know, he's not going to bend like a humanoid figure. So it's on a half ball joint, or it's a ball joint or half dumbbell, and it will do a full 360 degree rotation, although it's not the easiest. Single hinge and swivel at his upper knee, and it swivels around 360 degrees, bends forward that far, bends back that far. At this reverse knee, hinge and swivel as well, and it's kind of tight to swivel around. I might have to heat this sucker up some more. So it does swivel 360 degrees, It goes back that far. It goes forward that far. And then the single hinge and swivel at the ankle swivels around 360 degrees. Tilts down that far, which that's pretty good range. Tilts up that far. And then it does have a pin for rocker. Now he's got a couple of joints for his tail. First one right here, it'll left and right. It goes up and down. It rotates a little bit. It'll probably go all the way around if you really wanted it to, but there's not really any need to do that. So it's on a ball joint and it just rotates. Same with this piece here. It rotates right off, so you can see it is a dumbbell. So this is probably a full dumbbell too. So up, down, left, right, all around, right off the ball. Hate that I keep doing that. So this section of the tail is bendy, and it's wire in it to about this point right here. And, you know, it's bendy wire. So now I probably won't get him to stand up, but that's okay because we got to stand right here. Boop. There you go, lizard lips. And there you have it, my friends. That's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Creative Beast Studio, Beast of the Mesozoic, 1/35th scale, Allosaurus jimmadseni, with Star Wars The Vintage Collection, Bespin Lando Calrissian, Marvel Legends series, Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves, Zabu Build-A-Figure, Marvel Legends series, Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves, Kazar, and Harbinger Studios, Savage Crucible, Creatures of the Crucible, Komodo Dragon Blind Box, Frostvein Stalker. Here we have the Creative Beast Studio, Beasts of the Mesozoic, 1/35th scale, Allosaurus jimmadseni, with the Creative Beast Studio, Beasts of the Mesozoic, Tyrannosaur series, 1/18th scale, Tyrannosaurus Rex. For our last set of comparisons, here we have Creative Beast Studio, Beasts of the Mesozoic, 1/35th scale, Allosaurus jimmadseni, with from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Creative Beast Studio, Beasts of the Mesozoic, 1/35th scale, Allosaurus jimmadseni, I don't know, I butchered it again. So henceforth, this dinosaur shall be known as Allosaurus jimmadenus, or even Jimmy Dean. We'll just call him Jimmy Dean. How about that? So what I like about Jimmy Dean here, I do like the colors, and everything about this guy is up to the level of excellence that I expect when looking at Creative Beast Studios. The paint is there, the sculpt is there, the articulation is there, although there are some points of it that could use a little more range. But while we're talking about a little bit more range, even though this seems to be pretty much the same exact mold as the Allosaurus fragilis, Jimmy Dean, his head doesn't pop off like fragilis does. So maybe that's because fragilis is fragile and he's from Italy. I don't know. I meant to make that joke in that review, but I forgot. So I'm making it here. He's fragile. But this guy doesn't seem to have that problem. And I think it may be because I said it was the same exact mold, but I don't think it is. I think at least the neck piece there behind the head, the cover piece, I think maybe a bit different because the jaw opens without any issues. So it may be the neck piece, it may be the jaw piece, I don't know. But this one, the sculpt is great, the deco is excellent, and I really like Jimmy Dean. I think he is a really cool Allosaurus. And he's going to eat a lot of those little chickens. Dinosaur chickens. Because that's what he does. Now this guy's 1/35th scale. Which is a scale that I generally do not get into. You know, I try to stay 1/12th scale-ish, sometimes 1/10th scale. Used to be a lot of 1/18th scale. With beasts of the Mesozoic, it is a lot of 1/18th scale stuff. But this isn't really my collection. These dinosaurs belong to my wife. She's the one who picks them up at Joe Fest. She loves these dinosaurs. And she's gracious enough to let me review them so that I can have some content on my channel. So I do thank her for that. And I think this is a fine addition to her collection. I would like to see one of these at the 1/18th scale and see how it really compares up with the T-Rex, because that dude is big. Even at 1/18th scale, he's really big. But that does it for Jimmy Dean. He's up to the excellent standards that I expect when looking at Creative Beast Studio products. Paint, sculpt, it's all there. And again, there's some areas where the range of motion could be improved, but a lot of times it is a trade-off with, you know, keeping the sculpt looking really good and being super flexible. And sometimes it works well together, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices for one or the other. And I say that like I'm a toy engineer and I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not a toy engineer, and I'm just guessing at all this. But it seems to me like, if, you know, there are trade-offs. So is it you make the sculpt super accurate and, you know, cut out most of the articulation, or do you leave the articulation in there and, you know, make it an action figure and not a 3-4 point of articulation McFarlane movie maniacs from back in the day, where, you know, like the legs don't move. It moves at the waist and the neck and the shoulders, and that was it. Maybe at the wrists if you were lucky. So luckily these guys are not that. They are action figures and not slightly movable statues, because without the articulation, these guys are just big, like the, you know, the little dinosaur things we used to play with as kids, like the army men. We didn't have action figures like this unless you grew up in the 90s during the Jurassic Park craze, in which you did have plenty of articulated dinosaur action figures. But that was a little past my time, as you know, I aged out before that. So, but I did always look at them and go, wow, those are pretty cool. Well, my friends, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just to help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.